Now I'm here with my next video of nested loops. In this video, I'm going to consider the working of nested loop. Now see, I told you earlier also, what is nested loop? When loop present inside another loop, then it is said to be nested loop. Means loop is inside a loop. When we have a loop within a loop, it is said to be nested loop. Now I'm moving further with the example syntax I'm having. First of all, see the same thing I told you earlier also. Firstly, you have to run with initialization. Then you have to check condition if it is true. Then move towards the body part. In the body, we have in a loop, in a for loop. We have to execute the for loop in the same manner. Initialization. Then we have to check condition if it is true. Then we have to execute the body part. And then we have to move toward the increment decrement. And again we have to check condition till it is wrong. It moves again and again till the condition says false. If it says false, then we have to stop. Otherwise, we have to continue again and again. Means same thing we have to do when condition says true. We have to do the same thing again and again. And when we have to stop? When the condition says false. And after that, we have to move towards increment decrement of outer loop. Then again we have to check condition. If condition says true, then same thing we have to do again. We have to execute inner loop. And the same thing we have to deal with till the condition says false. And now what? While loop, nested while. How we are going to execute? Same thing, initialization, then check condition. If it is true, then again we have inner while loop. And see, again we have to check. We have to initialize values. We have to check condition. We have to execute body if condition says true. Then we have to move further. When a loop will be completed, we have to move further to check condition. How many times? Till the condition says false. Till that moment, we have to execute. And when condition says false, we have to execute increment and decrement. And when we execute increment and decrement, we have to move towards the outer while. Again, the same process happens. We have to check condition, then we have to initialize, then we have to check condition, then we have to execute inner while loop, then increment decrement. Again the same thing is going on till it says false. And again when it says false, we have to move to increment decrement. Then again the same process happens till this says false. When it says false, outer loop will execute top execution exactly. And then moving towards do while loop, same thing, initialization. When we are initializing it, same time we have to move towards again initialization, means inner do while loop we are having. Because in do we are not having condition with us on the top. That's why we move toward the initialization of inner one. And then we have to execute whatever written in the body part, means initialization, and again execute the body of inner loop, increment decrement. Then we have to check condition. If condition says true, then we have to move towards do again. The same thing is going to do again and again till the condition says true. At that moment when condition says false, here we have to stop inner loop. When condition says false, till that moment you have to continue the inner one. And when it says false, execute the increment and decrement and move toward the condition. When this condition says true, again you have to move towards do while loop. And the same thing happen again and again. This is the working of nested loops for while and do while. Keep these things in your mind, and then you are able to guess output. Whatever question is provided to you, you can able to guess the output. Now one question is in front of us so that we can test ourselves whether we are getting nested loop or not. Now see, in this way I'm going to provide you one question and you have to judge what is the answer of this question. Means the same way you have to dry run it and you have to provide me the output of whatever snippet I am writing. You have to judge the output. Whatever part of a program I am writing, you have to judge the output of that. How you are going to judge? You are having one that is count, one that is I, and one variable that is j. You are having three variables. Now what will happen? Count is 1. We will initialize our I, that is 1. 1 is smaller than 4 or not? Yes, it is. Then we have to execute the body. Value of j is 1. And then we have to check whether j is smaller than I or not. J is smaller than or equals to I. Yes, it is. Then we have to display the count. Count value of count is 1 with the space. And we have to increase our count. We will increase our count. Then j plus plus. Value of j will be 2 now. Then what? 2 is smaller than equals to I or not? No, it is not. Means we have to stop working of this for loop. And we have to move here. Means the work of system.out.println is to place cursor in the next line. We have to stand here. Then what? Again we have to move toward I plus plus. From here we have to move here. I plus plus. Value of I is right now 2. 2 smaller than 4 or not? Yes. Then we have to execute for inner for again. Means again we have to initialize j equals to 1. 1 is smaller than equals to I or not? Yes. 1 is smaller than 2. Then we have to display the value of count. Value of count is 2 with space. And we have to increase the count. That is 3 right now. Again we have to move towards j plus plus. Means it becomes 2 now. 2 is smaller than 2 or not? It is equals to 2. Yes. Then we have to display the value of count. Value of count is 3 with space. And then we have to move towards j plus plus. Value of j will become 3. 3 is smaller than equals to 2 or not? No, it is not. Then we have to stop in a loop. We have to move towards system.out.println. Now what will happen? Again we have to stand here. Because system.out.println place in next line. Then we have to move towards I plus plus. Now value of I becomes 3. 3 is smaller than equals to 4 or not? Yes, it is. Then again we will get inside. Again we will initialize j with 1. Now what will happen? 1 is smaller than equals to 3 or not? Yes. Then again we have to display the count. Value of count. Previously we have to increase the value of count, that is 4. Now we will display 4 with space. And again we have to increase the value of count. And value of j will be increased. That becomes 2. And 2 is smaller than equals to 3 or not? Yes, it is. Then again we will display our count, that is 5. Again we will increase the value of count, that now it is 6. And value of j will become 3. 3 is smaller than equals to 3. Yes. Then again we will display our count, that is 6 with space. We have to come here. In this way, we have to proceed till our I becomes 5. Till that moment, we have to proceed in this way only. Now see, you can create a table also for Draran. I told you in the same manner, value of I will be 1. Then 1 is smaller than 5 or not. Then the value of j will become 1. 1 is smaller than equals to I. It is true. Then we will display our count. Count. Here the value of count is 1. We will display our 1. Then see, here we had displayed. Then j becomes 2. It will be false. We are not doing anything else. Now value of I will be increased. It is true. Now again we have to provide the value of j. J becomes 1. Again it is true. Then we have to display our count. Between it is going to be increased. And then we are displaying it one by one. See, the same manner I am writing in the table format also. If you are able to handle the table format, you can do with the help of table format, or you whatever way is easy for you all, you can use for Draran. And if you have any of the problems, do ask from me. And see, one more thing I want to tell. This is our output in front of us, and this is said to be a florid triangle. Sometimes this triangle comes with the name. Sometimes it appears directly as pattern. And sometimes it appears as guess output. Any of the ways it may comes. And if you have any doubt, do consult with me. Otherwise, goodbye and good luck.